Farmers and ranchers around here are beginning to really worry about how dry it's getting, considering that it's June and not July yet. I looked, and the weather forecast is for a 50% chance of rain a couple days a week away. So it's going to be dry. Now eventually this water supply will probably go dry back at the source in the mountain. But in the meantime, it's doing its part to hold water back like a sponge. This will give you some idea of how much clay is in this ground. And here is an area that early in the year there was lots of water here, too much, but then I didn't have my zonjas balanced in such a way to be able to bring it here while I had too much water there. And you can just see the difference that it made. Now, it's never, what did it say, never too late, whatever, I can't think what the expression is. But now I'm bringing water all the way to that apple tree, but along the way it's infiltrating the hillside back there. So if I can get the water this far, I could always open a hatch back in there if I had a dry spot, which I have done actually. This is where the pigs are wallowing. It'll soften right up once the rain gets here. Although it takes a number of days. It might maybe take a week before that would really soften up. That's leaving the pig pasture going into the wild on the way up to Cort Weir. Now you can see, I think you can see, in the natural drain, there's lots of water going by. But there's a good bit of water coming here too. And I just got that from maybe an hour and a half, maybe work at the weir yesterday. But I'm going to go on up and see what it looks like now. I haven't put a cloth there yet. We'll see when I get up there. This is Cort Weir, named after my dad, Cortland. I put a lot of sand in there yesterday. What I did was I moved that deposit of silt that was here. I threw some of it with the shovel, and then I bucketed the rest to pretty much level it out across here. And what I want to do now today is do the same thing, but then go get a cloth and lay a cloth across it. So that's kind of the plan. There's more to it, but I'm pleased. I mean, if I would muddy that water up, you'd see there's a lot of water going down to irrigate. Before I continue here, I mean, I'm building it up so I've got something to walk on to get that to that far side. And before I put the cloth on here, I wish I brought scissors, but I forgot. But I'm going to go along here to see if there's any constricted or shallow places in the abyss itself. That might make it a little bit easier. So I'll first check on that. There's a few high spots, I think. There. Now I'm going to go get a cloth. As I say, I wish I had scissors because it's wider than I need. But I'll put one there and then probably go get another one later, maybe today. So we'll see what this does. There's the wild, and here's within the pig pasture. And as you can see, I've got a strong flow of water. That's plenty for my purposes at the moment, if I could just maintain that. And I think I can. You can see a cloth that I had put down here in the past. I may be able to take that out. I might not need that anymore. But the cloth I'm going to take up is one that I used at that corner, which I'm going to have to work on for sure, maybe tomorrow. But it's working now. Well, in the time that I was gone to get that cloth, two huge breaches occurred in the weir. I'll fill them with this loose stuff and then put that cloth across before they breach again. And then we'll see what happens. In spite of those breaches, though, notice that the water's still heading toward the pasture. Breaches were very easily plugged, And now I'm going to drag that cloth. That cloth's a bit heavy. I could use some horsepower here. There. Now you can see it. If the cloth weren't there, it would be breaching right there. What I'll do is I'll lift the cloth and put a stone underneath that, or a lump of that sediment, to raise it a little bit. And now I've got a lot of water going there. And the thing about this is to be able to control it. I don't want to steal all the water from the creek. And don't worry about that, because this goes through a gravelly area and it steadily picks up water, filtered water actually, from that abyss. So I'm pleased with that. I'll dress it up a little. Here you can see it from the far end of the weir. I think I'm going to leave it. I could do a little bit more adjusting. But you see the level of this water that's impounded is going to come up maybe an inch, a half inch, I don't know. And that's quite an area. Now once that comes up to that extent, there'll be more places that it goes over the weir. That's all right. I'll be back tomorrow to see what's what, and I'll adjust it. In the meantime, I'll head on downstream again. Oh, another thing I want to address. Some people might worry, is this legal what you're doing? Yes, it's legal. You can build a little dam in a creek up to 2 feet high in Pennsylvania. Though at least the last time I looked at it, you could. And also riparian rights allows you to take water that's going through your property and use a reasonable amount of it, but then return the rest. That's riparian rights. It does not apply in the American Southwest or even the West, I don't think. But it kind of comes out of Northern Europe. That's kind of another matter. But anyway, here we have Cort Weir.